Hi, and welcome to Pittman's Pumpkin Patch, Pittman's Garden Patch. It's August 19th, 2013, and I figured I'd kind of give a little talk about what's getting ready to be happening here in my garden. I call it Pittman's Pumpkin Patch, Pittman's Garden Patch, because I'm not just growing pumpkins, though that's one of my favorite things to grow. I call it Pittman's Pumpkin Patch also because, if you guys seen in my other videos, I've done things about strawberries and blueberries and blackberries and tomatoes and peppers and basil and cucumbers and, all kind of things like that. So, now, I plan on having a garden all year long. So, here we are in, towards late summer, and about another about another week, next Monday, because this is Monday, the 19th of August. Next Monday, I have to officially report back to work, back as a school teacher. So, here I am getting ready for the fall garden, and I just wanted to show you what I'm planting. And for those, who think, oh, you can't really grow in the fall, or you can't really grow in the winter time, or things like that. That's not true. There's so many things you can grow in the fall and winter. You just have to, do a little preparation. You have to, have some equipment and things at hand. You could make a greenhouse. You make a hoop house. You can buy row covers, various thicknesses that will, provide a little bit more warmth to your greenhouse. You could put little heaters in there if you need to. But more specifically, you want to try to be growing crops that are cold tolerant, that like that kind of cool weather to begin with. Things like broccoli, cabbage, lettuce, carrots, things of that nature. Kale is another a great one, and spinach as well. So there's so many things that you can grow in the wintertime. And so, let me show you some of the things that I am starting here by seed, and I started them 2 to 3 days ago, and they're already sprouting up. Many of them already are, and so I have my camera here on the tripod for the first time, so I don't know if all this is going to work out properly. If the view you're going to see is going to be great and all that, and so let's see how it all goes, shall we? All right. So, hopefully, I'm in the camera here, and right here, these were, bought some blueberries from the grocery store a little while back, and instead of just naturally putting these in the blue trash can for recycling everything, I was like, well, wait a minute, I could recycle, I could reuse this. So they have natural little slits in them for drainage. It's a perfect little plastic container, and it's also its own little mini greenhouse because you can close the lid on it, and it will help with the germination process. Now these are, I have 2 of them going, and what I have growing in both of them is black seeded Simpson lettuce. And this one right here under my finger, it already has about 3 plants already germinating and pushing through, and there's actually another one right there. There's more, so I don't know if it's coming in on the camera, but they are right in there are some black seeded Simpson lettuce. Now I'll say I have other black seeded Simpson lettuce growing in other containers I have over here. But let me just start off by saying, in the 2 to 3 days time that I put these seeds in there, this black seeded Simpson has germinated very good. I'm impressed with its germination rate and how it's doing. I mean, 2 to 3 days and it's already popping up. That's pretty good. So this soil, but it starts with just soil here. I have a mixture out in one of my big bad beds that I got prepared for the fall already. I cleaned it out and everything, and I added some more vermiculite to it to help a little bit more drainage. and actually water retention. And I added a little bit of compost and mushroom compost mixture together, and I added in the trace minerals, azomite, rock dust, which is adding all the minerals and the trace minerals into your soil, which is very important. Okay, you need to have those minerals and trace minerals in there, and it has a broad spectrum of minerals and trace minerals. Azomite does, and there's other ones like Geiger glacial rock dust, and accelerite is another. And actually, I added a little bit of accelerite too. That's also has the whole periodic table full of elements and things like that. So that's important for your crops, for your plants. And so I put that in there. Generally, I would add some other things like worm castings and humus and things like that. But I was running kind of low on those ingredients. So I didn't add it right now, but I could, always go back in and add a little bit more. Um, if you need to kind of water it in, and it'll leach down into the soil and make contact with the roots. But I'm also planning on using compost tea, which I actually have some here in this bucket here, and I've been using to keep my plants moist. I have it here in the spray bottle. So I recommend using a spray bottle when you have seeds that you want to germinate, instead of going in there with anything that's heavy duty. Because otherwise you're going to end up knocking the soil, knocking the seeds around, and you might knock them further down inside of the soil, and they may not germinate. You may not have enough energy to get up to the top. So you want to lightly mist your stuff and keep them moist until they germinate. So I've added that in there. The compost tea, which is a hugely important uh, way of introducing microorganisms to your soil, to create an environment, a habitat, if you will, in the soil where beneficial microbes and fungi can thrive, and thus benefit your plants, and thus will benefit you in the long run. So, it's a whole symbiotic relationship going on, you know, down there. The plants, need those microorganisms, and the microorganisms, need all the soil and the nutrients in there that it feeds on and everything, and helps with the plants. It helps, make more of the nutrients and minerals available for your plants, because sometimes you have plants, you have all this nutrients in your soil, but your plants aren't doing well. Well, maybe that's because your soil nutrients are locked up. Your plants can't access those minerals and trace minerals because they're, for whatever reason, pH level might not be right or whatever. It's just locked up. And so these microorganisms that are put in there via compost tea, uh, helps break down those things and make them more readily available to your plants. So a very important ingredient. So anyways, black seed Simpson lettuce, very happy with that, with its germination so far. And again, let me see my label. Yep, black seeded Simpson lettuce. And again, I have black seed already sprouted up 2 or 3 days. Got it all over in here. So that is a good thing here. Now, on this right here, and these are reused from, I got this container here came back, I got this, gosh, what was it, back in the winter time, either early 2013 in January or something, where these had the, these either had, I think these had the tansy plants in them. No, these weren't tansy, I'm sorry, this came from, I bought a pallet of marigolds. So I just held on to these things to reuse them. And so here I have, and these two right here, I have some summertime lettuce. So 8 plants of summertime lettuce. And then the next two, right here, I have more black seeded Simpson lettuce. And again, these 2 rows right here, hopefully you can see, these 2 rows, oops, don't fall over now. These 2 rows right here, black seeded Simpson lettuce, sprouts in every single one of them except maybe 1 or 2. No, that's got some. But I mean, tons of it, just sprouting up so quick and easy. Now, my summertime lettuce, I am not really seeing anything sprout up on the summertime lettuce, but the black seeded Simpson lettuce, doing great. Sprouts up quick and easy. On the other, this other half over here, all the rest of this stuff is my Savoy drumhead cabbage that I planted. And also back over in here, I'll show you in just a minute, can't quite reach it. I have some more in these white pots back over here, these white little nursery pots. I have some Savoy drumhead cabbage planted in there too. None of them have sprouted up yet. Now, it's only been 2 or 3 days, so it may just take a little bit more time. So that's what's going on with that. But black-seeded Simpson lettuce looks good. Now, something else I am pleased with over I've got going on here, as I get all nice and dirty. That's the part of being a gardener. Love it. All right, so this part right here, from right here all the way up here. Now, this is, I don't leave it upside down too good. This is my Paris Island romaine lettuce. Paris Island romaine lettuce. So all that up here, all these sprouts that have all shot up in 2 to 3 days, I mean every single one that I got. I have 2, 4, 6, 7 little pots. And like I said, it's all sprouted up. Let's see, I don't know if I can get a good close-up there. But, multiple seeds have germinated in here. And every single one of my trays. And every single one of my little things. For the Paris Island romaine lettuce. Okay? In this row right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cells, I have some Teton hybrid spinach. I have not seen anything germinate yet. Again, it's still got plenty of time. This next row right here, I have some salad select spinach, and I'm not seeing anything germinate as of yet. Oh, actually, I take that back. There's one sprout right there with my fingers. It's a little bit hard to see, but I see one right there. Looks like it still has the seed coat on top of it. So I'm going to leave that in there because they're so tender. If you try to mess with the seed head and the seed coat, and get it off, you might pull the whole plant out. Let nature take its course most of the time, and sometimes you get a little hand. In my last row over here, I have some Bloomsdale long-standing spinach, and I think I see 1 or 2 little sprouts coming up. So the spinach is taking a little bit longer to germinate. The cabbage, the drumhead Savoy cabbage, or Savoy drumhead cabbage, is definitely taking a little bit longer, but that's okay. It's not like it's, and then you kind of, the seeds fail. It's only been 3 to 4 days. Actually, probably 3 days. So, but the lettuce, black-seeded Simpson lettuce, and the Paris Island, excellent. It's doing really great. Okay, now, and it's a rainy day today. I put them out earlier, to try to get a little bit more sunshine, even though it was cloudy. But look, I'm getting all filthy dirty. But I have one more tray, one more little pallet thing here. Let me see if I can get that. That's going to be a little tricky. Oops, don't tip now. Don't tip. There we go. Alright. Now, here's what we got going on here. From my understanding, from what I've been researching on, kale. Kale is one of the most dense nutritional plants around. I mean, it's packed full of minerals and nutrients and vitamins and things to help us out. So, I've not really been so much of a Oh, look at there. Look right on my finger. A little old snail, a roly-poly. He's rolled up on my finger. Maybe he's a little worm. Yeah, or is he a slug? No, he's a slug. I see his little antenna there. I'm sorry, buddy. You have to not be around my plants. I'm sorry. Slugs are not allowed. If they were worms, excellent. But anyhow, kale is one of the most densely packed vitamins and nutritional plants around. And so what I have over here on 3, 6, 9 cells right here, I have some red Russian kale, and over here on this side, on these 9 cells, I have some dinosaur kale. Okay, and they're already sprouting up, so I'm pretty pleased with that. I got uh, several of them have germinated on both the red Russian kale as well as the right here on this one right here. I have some dinosaur kale sprouting up, and they're sprouting up in different places too. So the kale seems to be doing fairly good. Uh, Lettuce is doing great. Spinach, and the cabbage, but it's getting there. Again, keep things moist, but I'm starting things from seed, and they're growing in the same kind of soil and compost and mushroom compost things that they're going to be transplanted into. And I'm starting them from seed because I'm trying to save some money and everything. Your big box stores like your Walmarts and Home Depots and those, yes, they're going to be carrying some fall and winter um, plants, but if you want to try to save some money, I'll probably still go and check them out just to see if they have different varieties. And I haven't started any broccoli because I ran out of seeds. So I'm probably going to pick up some broccoli starts later on down the road. Alright, so put that back there. And, and I kind of want to show you something else that I'm doing out here on the front driveway here. Part of some experiments. So come with me. It's a little wet outside, and it's a little rainy, but we'll go from there. So let's take you out here to the plants out here. Now, this is an experiment that I'm working on just to see what happens. Now, this pot here and that pot here are beefsteak tomato plants that I put in here about maybe a week and a half to 2 weeks ago. Doing really great. These two plants, 2 buckets here, or nursery pots, have my bell peppers. And so I finally got some bell peppers to germinate in here, as you can see. 3 in each pot have germinated out of about 8 to 10 seeds in each pot. So that's not a very successful percentage there. But the fact that I got in, I was only going to grow maybe 1 or 2 in each pot anyways, for that size container. And basically only 1 tomato plant in each one of these. Now I'm going to try to transplant out some and put them into other little things because I just don't want to have them go to waste. But what I'm going to do with this is as the weather permits, I'm going to keep these outside and everything and let them go. And then when the weather starts to get colder, I'm going to bring these inside into the garage and put them under my grow light that I have that puts out a lot of heat. It's a VHO, a very high output grow light, and it puts out a lot of heat. I had that thing up about 4.5 feet above my plants, and I put a thermometer under by the plants underneath, and it was still in the low 90s with the grow light set about 4.5 feet above the plants. So I'm going to jack it up a little bit higher and try to get the temperatures to stay down in the low 80s to maybe 85 degrees, somewhere around there, so that it's optimal for my plants. And I'm just going to experiment over the fall and winter and try to grow some summertime, if you will, vegetables inside the garage under the grow light system and everything, just to see what happens. You know, you know how it is. You go to the grocery store, and you know you try to get a tomato from there, and it just doesn't taste very good. So I'm seeing, can I grow fresh vegetables in my garage during the fall and winter time? And so this is just an experiment to see what happens. Because I figure, generally use a grow light to get your seeds started and everything like that, to get them germinated and get them going, early start on each season. Well, here in the summertime, you can get your cabbage and broccoli and things like that, kale. You can get those growing, in the shade under the porch like I'm doing, because you don't want them out in the direct sunlight and everything, as it gets too hot and the seeds may not germinate, because those are more of a fall winter crop. So I'm growing them in the shade of the porch, and they're germinating pretty good. Now, I just want to have the see, I got a grow light, so I might as well see what I can grow instead of just only seeds. Once I got my seeds started, what's the grow light going to do? It's just going to sit there and, not do anything. It's not going to benefit me in any way. So I might as well put it to use and experiment with it and see what I can grow. I mean, I might even try to grow some zucchini and squash. Some that are not going to get too tall, more of your bush style varieties, and just see what happens. So, from Pittman's Pumpkin Patch and Pittman's Garden Patch, I will talk at you later. Bye.